It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke. The path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. I am warmed up. I just did about a 40-minute discussion with Dylan from the Facebook group, which is Daily Comedy News Podcast Group. Feel encouraged to join. He had seen Mitch Hedberg live, so I wanted to talk to Dylan about Mitch Hedberg, and then we wound up talking comedy for another half hour after that. So we'll run that later in the week. My plan this weekend is to have two specials about Mitch Hedberg, who passed away 20 years ago on Sunday. But let's start with happier things, or maybe not if you're Nikki Glaser. She's a little worried about making political jokes. She told reporters on the red carpet at the Conan thing, like, you're just scared that you're going to get doxxed and death threats, or who knows where this leads, like detained. Honestly, that's not even like a joke. It's like a real fear. So it's unfortunate that that's true, but I'm not going to lie and say I don't think about that sometimes and go, oh God, can I just say, I hope they all know I can be up on the gallows and say I was just joking. I'm a comedian. I hope that's a defense. Did you see the whole thing with the leaked war plans via text? Veer got in on this. This from the Hindustan Times, your home for comedy news. On Instagram, Veer shared a series of messages he received from a person who referred to themselves as Donald Trump. In the exchange, the sender, aka Donald Trump, called Veer Vivek. The exchange, DJT writes, "Bro, we're planning another assault. You in?" Veer texts back, "I'm sorry, who is this?" The sender responded, "Trump, baby." Then an invite comes in. "You want to come watch some drones this weekend? Elon's 9th kid bailed. We have a spare chair in the Situation Room." Veer writes back to DJT, "No, sir, this is Veer Das." DJT writes, "What the F is a Veer Das? You're a brown dude. You're not Vivek?" The exchange then says, "There's too effing many of you, man. This is why I need Vivek." Veer Das then jokes that Vivek's number might be above my name in your contact list. Quote unquote, Trump writes back, "Wait, you're a comedian? You have a podcast? You have 48 hours to leave the country. MAGA." Das signed off, "Yes, sir. No, sir. Namaste." Funny bit, whatever's going on there. Donnell Rawlings did a really fantastic interview with BaltimorePositive.com. The subject, Elon Musk. Remember that time Elon showed up at the Dave Chappelle show? Donnell told that story. We did the show in San Francisco a few years ago. At that time, Chappelle, I'm not going to say it was friends, but, he'd be in conversation with Elon, and then he'd come to shows. And I think Elon had an idea of wanting to do stand-up, but I don't think in front of a 20,000-seat arena is a good place. And this was right after he laid off all those people in San Francisco. He went on stage and they booed the hell out of him. And, there's an iconic catchphrase I use on Chappelle's show, which would have been perfect for Elon. I was like, yo, you got to say it. He said, say what? And I said, you got to say, I'm rich. But then he said it and he butchered it. And I said, no, you got to say it like this. He didn't get it. And that was the end of his comedy career. Godfrey tells Fox News that the word racist is worn out and used too loosely. Godfrey says people accuse him of being racist for jokes in which he mentions the race of a person. They go, you're racist. And I go, well, I can't be. I didn't stop you from going to school. I can't be a racist. Just because I talk about a race doesn't mean I'm racist. You see what I'm saying? If I go, well, white people do this a lot. White cops do this to black, and it cuts off there. They go, you're racist. No, they're racist because they were stopping me, stopping frisking black people. Godfrey says the critics are mad just because I'm telling you the truth. I'm just describing a white person. Racist is when you stop people from buying houses. You can't come in our neighborhood, You can't have this job because of the way you look. That's racism. It's an actual institutionalized method to stop people from progress. Just because I go, oh, there's a white guy, there's a black guy. It's not racism. I'm just describing. You see, there's a difference. It's a thin line. Godfrey says sometimes people say to him, stick to comedy, not politics. And I go, well, politics affect me. I pay taxes. What do you mean stick to comedy? Because they're mad at my opinion? So many people are moist nowadays. Moist is a fantastic word. Comedian Charlie Berens is involved in somebody else impersonating Charlie. Charlie told Contact 6, a news organization, if you get a DM from me asking for your favorite fishing spot, that could be legitimate. However, in March, a 6-year-old woman thought she got a message from Charlie on TikTok. She asked about his upcoming shows. The scammer offered to get her tickets. Then the scammer suggested they move the conversation off TikTok. She was told she needed to get a fan card to get backstage access. To get one, she had to put $500 on an e-gift card at Walmart because, that's the system. You buy a comedian an e-gift card at Walmart for $500 and you get to go backstage. By the way, can I tell you all, backstage is boring. Nothing happens backstage. Whatever you think is happening backstage, even at rock shows, is boring. I will tell you a story. When I was at the old place, yes, you can all drink, I was in what I called the Springsteen Mafia. I got to know the Springsteen camp a little bit. So one time, I got to go backstage at Giant Stadium. I think it was the old stadium. Might have been the new stadium, doesn't matter. Right after the Springsteen concert. So I go back, and there's Bruce and the guys, and what do? They go, all right, Steve, see you tomorrow. And they get in their cars and drive home. That's it. There's no party. There's no babes. There's no drugs. I mean, I'm sure at a Guns N' Roses show in L.A. 30 years ago, stuff was going on. But you go backstage with Larry the Cable Guy and Jeff Foxworthy, they're just sitting there having a beverage. And by beverage, I might mean glass of water, perhaps a beer, and just kind of talking the way friends do. Anyway, backstage, overrated. Definitely don't pay $500 on an e-gift card at Walmart to get backstage. Charlie says, I have a lot of empathy for people because it's getting harder and harder to decipher what is true and not true online. One red flag in the case, the scammer's TikTok name was Charlie Berens 127. Berens' official account is Charlie Berens. He shares, if there's any numbers behind my name on any of these things, that's a no-go. Which reminds me, John Mulaney is raising money for charity. Send money to John Mulaney 12345 at, no, I'm kidding. The woman says the scammer got too friendly, calling her my dear and saying, I guess I've been around and waiting for you. She wrote back, why in the world would the world famous Charlie Berens tap the brakes on the world famous? I'm not even sure I'm saying his last name correctly. World famous is a little exaggerated there, but why in the world would Charlie reach out to a complete stranger and sweet talk? I got news for you, lady. If you think comedians aren't reaching out on social media and sweet talking women, you're not paying attention. Lisa Schiller is with the BBB Serving Wisconsin. I assume that's the Better Business Bureau. Lisa says, I think the thing with celebrity impersonation scams is people want them to be true. They're going to ask for a payment in an untraceable method, such as a gift card. See, she's not funny there. She should have said untraceable method, such as a Walmart e-gift card. The laughter is always in the details. You got to add the details. So I'm going to modify her quote. They're going to ask for payment in an untraceable method, such as a Walmart e-gift card, or a reloadable card, or wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. Sure, you can come backstage to send me 100,000 Dogecoin. Jeff Dunham stepped in it. Let's head on over to Gossip Corner. He was in Rochester, New York, and the audience turned on him. Why? Dunham said, I got booed when I didn't know what a garbage plate was. Somebody had asked the question, Dear Peanut, have you ever had a garbage plate? Peanut made a joke, and I said, what's a garbage plate? And people were like incensed that I'm in Rochester, New York. I didn't know what a garbage plate was. So he sent a runner out to get one. Now, if you don't know what a garbage plate is, and I only do because this came up on the show at some point. I feel like Patton Oswalt or somebody was randomly in Rochester. This has come up before. The runner went to the garbage plate originator Nick Tahoe Hots on West Main Street. You know the place. But it had closed for the night. Then the runner went to Dogtown on Monroe and got a junkyard plate, which Dunham dug into during the Facebook Live feed. Before opening the container, he commented about how good it smelled and said, I apologize right now to Audrey, my wife, who looks out for my health, because I have a feeling this is not that. So what was on it? Macaroni salad, home fried potatoes, meat sauce, mustard, onions, a hamburger, and a hot dog. He said, I don't know where to start on this thing. Gee whiz, this looks good. This is every vegan's nightmare. He had a taste and said, I get it now. Now I know why the audience was angry with me for not knowing what this is. This is savory. It is delicious. The mustard and the onions and the hamburger and the hot dog and the potatoes. Yeah, how can you lose? So I took the break there because I got out on a funny note with the garbage plate story. But here are some items that normally would be in the A block, but I just split it for pacing. Kevin Hart, never afraid to work. He's got a new movie for Netflix. It is called 72 Hours. It stars Kevin Hart as a 40-year-old executive. Kevin Hart is 45, so he'll be 46 by the time this comes out. He's outrageously playing a 40-year-old executive who hopes to save his flailing career by joining a group of 20-somethings on a wild 3-day bachelor party after he's inadvertently added to their group text. So I guess picture The Hangover, except Kevin Hart's on it. You know what? The Netflix algorithm, they're going to stick it in front of everybody. We're all going to watch, including me. Yeah, it's going to work. On your Netflix, Chelsea Handler. By the way, it is 10:58 on Tuesday, and I'm recording this early because earlier this hour, I caught up with Dylan from the Facebook group. You'll hear me tell it, but I said to him, I go, there was a day last week where you hadn't watched one of the specials yet, and I was worried about you. He has already watched Chelsea Handler, which as I record this has been out for like 4 hours. It's morning, and he's already watched Chelsea. I have not gotten to it yet. Chelsea told the LA Times the point of her special was, who were you before the world really besmirched you? When you were untouched and unscathed, when you haven't had your heart broken or been disappointed or experienced a big tragedy yet, who were you then? That's really the essence of who you are. As for herself, and she also has a book, she said, I'm at a place in my life where I try not to put that kind of pressure on myself. I wanted to make sure that even if it wasn't number one, that I'd be grateful and gracious and not be so competitive with myself or with others. To find out that it was number one when I'd accepted it might not be was the best news. I'm so proud of myself for never falling into getting married or having a baby when I know these things aren't natural to who I am. I am valuable without a husband. I'm a queen with or without a husband, and so are all women. I firmly believe that. And she speaks truth here in this next chunk. When you hit your 50s, you return to who you are. You start caring a lot less about what people think, and you're also much more present. Amen and amen. The past is not a preoccupation like it was in my 20s, worrying about what I'd done if I'd said something to embarrass myself. I do that a lot less. I do that less often, so there's less to be regrettable about. You know, one piece of advice that I have taken to heart, it's from Kylo Ren, you know, the bad guy from the Star Wars sequels, but he's got a line of dialogue, which is, let the past die. And I think it is great advice. Can I sidebar? So I was in Ireland last week. This is related. Stay with me. Nothing to do with comedy, but has to do with what I just talked about. So I went up to Belfast and I took what's called a black cab tour. So I was driven around, my family and I were driven around by a man who had grown up during the Troubles. And he showed us the neighborhoods, and they still to this day lock the gates between the Protestant neighborhood and the Catholic neighborhood at 10 p.m. And he showed me how the fence is right up against the Catholic side. So if you're on the Catholic side and you wanted to throw something over the fence to hit the Protestants, well, the Protestant houses are like 40, 50 feet back from the fence. So you really don't have the angle to throw such a thing. Whereas if you're on the Protestant side and you want to lob something over the fence, it's pretty easy to hit the Catholic side. And it was just, the whole thing was powerful. I was honestly choked up for like the entire hour and a half tour. But one thing he said was, you know, it was never about religion. It was just about economic stuff, and they're leaving it behind. And he explained about the gates. He goes, it's not a great solution. You know, I could see that you might think it's strange because it's working for us and it works fine. Another thing I heard a lot over there was how the Irish feel about the British, which is totally different from how Grandma felt about it. Their attitude is, you know what? Stuff happened 150 years ago. Let the past die. Get back to the show, John. Okay, Chelsea Handler enjoys hosting the Critics' Choice Awards and says, I love making fun of celebrities and getting drunk with them afterward. It's kind of the perfect evening for me. Now, will she get a talk show again? In 2025, the easiest way to get a late-night talk show as a woman is to get the creators of Hacks to write a fictional story about it. John Mulaney shows on tonight. Your guests, Pete Davidson, Luenell, Macpacker, Henry Winkler, and a funeral director, and music from Mannequin Pussy. And that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too. See you tomorrow.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White Smoke. The path to a new pope. From Calaroga Shark Media. Wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're fascinated by UFOs, aliens, ghosts, demons, cryptid creatures like Bigfoot, Chupacabra, and Mothman, then I have the show for you. The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader. Each week, we investigate different claims of the supernatural and try to shed light into the darkness, bringing you the top guests and experts from around the world. Enter the fray. Then join me, Dave Schrader, your host, as we investigate all aspects and claims of the supernatural and paranormal. Listen on all of your favorite podcast platforms: Good Pods, TuneIn, Pocket Casts, Deezer, Player FM, Amazon Music, Audible, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. The answers to life's biggest questions and miracles and mysteries awaits you. So join me each week, 2 brand new episodes of the best in paranormal podcasting, The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader.